How are the other Scotland boys who are in Italy? You got McTominay and Gilmer down in Naples, and Shays and Turin. Are they speaking the language as well?
I've seen Scott saying Mamma Mia a few times when the camera pans to him in the games. It's a beautiful city, there's lovely places to go and eat. And the weather, although the weather's pretty cold just now, but the weather in general is not too bad. So always look at nice place, good food, good weather. It's three big parts to enjoy your life outside of the football stuff, because obviously love the club, the people that work at the club, the people that run the club from top to bottom. Just great people, and I've made some friends for life, feel really at home.
When you first came out here almost 4 years ago now, how difficult a decision was that, and how kind of nerve-wracking was it to come to a new country?
Yeah, it wasn't as much a difficult decision. I think at the time I felt as though it was time to move on from Aberdeen. Had fantastic 4 years there. Loved my time at Aberdeen. Again, great club, great people. But it was time for me to move on and kick on, and I wanted to go and play at a higher level and test myself against some of the best players in the world. And you know, there was options, but I just felt like this was the right one. But then when you do make the move and you move away from home, you move out your comfort zone, different culture, different language, different country, then it is difficult. But I think you do become more of a man. You know, I felt I was young when I moved here, like I said. Not really any responsibilities in terms of just living myself. But then obviously now I've got two beautiful young daughters, and you know, the oldest one goes to school here and everything, so they enjoy it. It's good here. It's a good city to live in with a family, a young family. So they're comfortable here, and that's the most important thing for me. Is as long as my two little girls are happy, then I'm happy.
How well loved is he in this city and with everyone at the club here?
Yeah, most definitely a lot. He's very much beloved here. I mean, in general, I would say Scottish players are beloved in Italy because they don't ever create troubles. They are very tenacious. They fight on every ball all the time, so they don't create any problem at all. They are good for the group also as team players, and Ferguson is one of those. He's just a proper player who never gives up, and people do like that. And if you remember, summer 24 did very well with Thiago Motta, season before, the second season of Ferguson here in Bologna, and Arsenal came calling. Calafiori left immediately for London. Man United came calling, Xerxes moved to Manchester. Juventus came calling, Motta went to Juventus, and he stayed. And I think that played also a big role in the way people see him, because he decided to stay, although he had offers and he was close to moving to Juventus or Napoli. But he decided to stay, and this is something that really make a difference here in Italy and in Bologna. We've heard him yesterday speaking during the press conference. He speaks very good Italian, so people obviously like that.
Fisicamente io sto bene, mi alleno ogni giorno.
Your Italian is spot on. I'm sure everyone would agree. It's sounding tremendous. Are there any phrases in particular you use more than others?
There's some bad words that I use that I'll not say.
I don't use them.
Because they're the ones that you learn first. To be honest, when you first go into a changing room, pretty normal that you learn the bad words before the normal stuff. That I feel comfortable now speaking and holding conversations with people. We've got a lot of boys in the changing room who've signed this year that obviously it's their turn to start to learn, so I'm trying to help them as much as possible in training, because I know how difficult it can be turning up to training, and when you're doing drills and you're doing some tactics and there's video, I know how difficult it can be when it's in a different language, so I try as much as I can to help the other guys.
How are the other Scotland boys who are in Italy? You got McTominay and Gilmer down in Naples, and Shays and Turin. Are they speaking the language as well? Are they tackling it? I think I've heard Scott certainly addressing his adoring public with it.
Yeah, I've seen Scott saying Mamma Mia a few times when the camera pans to him in the games. But it does take a lot to then go in front of a camera after a game or before a game, especially when it's live, because you don't want to mess it up.
Momento un po' così. Hanno cambiato allenatore.
And then it's all like the same words when you're in a press conference and you're always speaking about football, or you're speaking about form or injuries or other teams. You know, you're speaking about relatively the same things. So, you know, once you do a few interviews, then you start to pick up the words and you can feel comfortable enough to do them.
He developed into what he is now. I mean, he was good at Aberdeen, but he did the next step, I'm sure, in Bologna. So he started off a bit more defensive, and then he went into a more attacking position in Bologna with Thiago Motta, and he was playing fantastic. He had this injury, anterior cruciate ligament injury in April 24, and he's still probably a bit suffering of it, in my opinion, so he didn't quite recover, let's put it at this, 100%. Then he moved a bit farther back into the pitch with the arrival of Vincenzo Italiano, but he's a player that can do anything in midfield. He can call the pressing, he can finish, he can shoot from wide range, he can enter into the penalty area, he can assist, play the through ball, can move a lot, can run. Overall, it's a very good player who has developed into an even better player.
I think probably since I've come back from injury, I've not scored as much as I did previously. We've obviously changed manager as well, so you change the style of football changes, and I probably changed the role, played a little bit deeper, which I don't mind. It just obviously means that you don't get in the box as much and there's not as much chances to score. But recently I've sort of been playing a little bit higher up with that sort of licence to hit the box. So hopefully the goals will come soon.
Two massive things have happened for you here. Firstly, Thiago Motta made you captain, but also winning the Coppa Italia, the first time major silverware has come here for so many decades. Talk to us about that final.
Yeah, first and foremost, the influence of Motta was incredible for me, really, in terms of changing me as a player and the way I think and the way I look at football. His work in terms of the tactical side of the game, and it's just some individual stuff that he did with me in terms of positioning and receiving the ball and getting in the box. I probably played my best football at that time, that year, just before I got injured, and he had a massive influence on my career and made me such a more mature player, a better player. So I've got a lot to thank him for. But the final last year was, I'll probably put it as my best moment in football, just because of the club here hadn't won a major trophy for 51 years. And the city are so passionate, the fans are so passionate, and just playing at the Olimpico in front of 70,000 fans, and managing to win against AC Milan in the final was it was amazing. It was just such an amazing night, and I'll never forget it.
It came off the back of playing Champions League football as well. I know for you guys as a team, it wasn't a great campaign results-wise, but the experience of playing in the Champions League, I mean, that's the stuff you dream of as a schoolboy, and your dreams of being a footballer, I would have thought.
Yeah, of course. And I think the Champions League actually really helped us in terms of becoming a better team last year, because we didn't start the season too well. We'd changed a lot of players and we'd changed managers, so it was normal that it was going to take a little bit of time for it to click. But I just felt personally, the games in the Champions League, although we didn't win many, I think they definitely helped the team become a better team. And then you seen at the end of the season, we were just on such a positive. The momentum was so positive, and getting into that final, I just had the feeling that we were going to win it, and there was no other outcome. You know, I think the feeling leading up to that final was, we're here to win this.
I cannot talk about Scotland and the World Cup that's coming up. How exciting is that prospect, particularly for you personally, given you missed out on Germany?
Yeah, really exciting. Really looking forward to it. That game against Denmark, I know I just said the Coppa Italia's the best feeling that I've had in a football pitch, but that's probably on par, I would say.
It was just a ridiculous night, wasn't it?
Yeah, incredible in terms of, like, it was just such a roller coaster. You know, Scott scores one of the best goals I've ever seen within 2 minutes. And when KT scored that goal, incredible. That was such an incredible feeling, because, you know, it was last minute-ish, wonder strike, and then Kenny just went and sealed it with a goal for the halfway line, and that was just when, you know, the stadium erupts and you're running towards the corner and you know that the game's finished. And you know, just all that hard work that you've put in. You've always dreamed of taking Scotland to a World Cup. And in that moment when I'm chasing Kenny, that's came to life. So it was such a special feeling. We're not just there to make up numbers, we're there because we deserve it. And I'm pretty sure we'll be well prepared to go and get the best results possible. And I hope that's enough to take us through and we can be the first team.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is exciting to say that, to be the first team. But yeah, just such an exciting time. We'll be well prepared, every Scottish player, whether they're in the squad, on the fringes or out of the squad. Everyone's goal is going to be to get in the squad and go to America. So it's a great thing for Scottish football. It's a great thing for the players to have that at the end of the season to go and look forward to. And like I said, the squad and the country, I've got this to look forward to, and everybody should be so proud of taking Scotland to a World Cup.